dropped the phone and I hit the end button. So this is going to have to be, I don't know, I have to get my wife to fix it, or it's just going to have to be a 2-video deal. Watch the longer one first, I guess. But so Jazz, has stalked these people. He's probably made their life a living hell, because, his almighty God, his everything is his money. Which I found out after a few years of working with him. Then this past week, I went out, and done some more work for him, which, he done a lot of stuff, under the table, no taxes on it, just pay your cash under the table, nobody needs to know nothing, which I don't mind. That's fine with me. I don't want to turn in what little bit of money I make to the government either. But him being, a business owner of sorts, that's not a good look on him. And so me and my stepson, 14-year-old stepson, go out there, and we had about 5 hours to work. We got there at 9:51, because I got an app on my phone that shows when I arrived somewhere, when I left somewhere, and I had that proof that we was there at 9:51. We had to be somewhere else at 3:30, so we left Jazz's house at 3:11. So a little over 5 hours. I told him we had 5 hours worth of work. Well, he only, he wants to short us and only pay us for about 2.5 hours each. Which I'm like, what is the deal? What's going on, with you today? And, and then I explain it to him, tell him the exact times I had. And he admits, through the text, oh, you're right. I owe you 5 hours. You're right. So it takes me 3 days of texting and calling. I'm like, I'd like to have that money, because usually, the way it works with him is you pay me when I get off work that day. You either wire it to me, Cash App, whatever, or you hand me the cash. Well, he, didn't have it on him that day. He said, I'll send it within the hour. Well, 3 days later, when I'm finally down there at his house, across from his house, because, he wasn't answering and all that, and I told him I was coming to pick up my tools that I needed for some other work I was doing. He said, I put all your tools at the mailbox, and I put the check in the mailbox. Well, no check in the mailbox. Half my tools probably wasn't there. Of course, they're junk, cheap tools. I wasn't too concerned about it, but still, at least meet me there like a man, and we'll go through and make sure I got all my stuff. You pay me the money you owe me, and we get out of there. Well, he just flat out wouldn't do it. He eventually sent me I think he sent me $120. I said, well, I've got a few tools that I know is still there I need to get. Plus you owe me $20 more to make it even. It's not a lot of money. But after everything I've dealt with him and, stuff in the past, stuff, between our daddies and everything else, it's kind of the principle behind of, you're gonna pay me and you're gonna pay my stepson who came over and worked his ass off on a shovel for you. Like, you're gonna pay us every dime you owe us, is the way I feel about it. When I told him, you know, like, Jazz, you've got some shady dealings that could be spoke about. You know, all the work. I don't think he realizes how much money it will cost him to get inspections and proper building code, you know, enforcement done on these 2 cabins that he's been working on for years. Like, you know, I hate to be the kind of guy that's like that, but I am. If you're going to screw me, I want to give it my all to make us even or get over on you even more. You know, it's all I asked. You know, pay me for the one thing I know that's there. $23 shovel and $20 is all I ask from this man to even us out and make this even. Never hear from me again. Never see me again. $43, man. Just be a good person. Even though we all know you're not. Anybody that's close with you knows how greedy and how much money is everything to you. And yes, I applaud you. You've got way more of it than I do. I've been an idiot my whole life. And all the money I've made, I've pissed away. But he needs to make this right. You know, and I've done it. Done everything I can, you know, to try to get him to square it up, but nothing has been heard yet. And of course, you know, he'll have a rebuttal of about, you know, like a lot of times I'd say, hey, Jazz, I'll be down there on Tuesday. Well, Jazz pays me like $18 an hour. When I got another job pop up that pays me $55 an hour, I'm going to that other job. So many times, you know, I've had other responsibilities. Plus my wife, she almost passed away. She still, you know, I still have to be at home a lot and take care of her. You know, I've got a lot of things going on. So yeah, there's times I didn't show up whenever he wanted me to show up, and he'd say, no big deal, just whenever you can get here, you know. So he can throw that out there all he wants, but I never asked for a dime of money that I had not worked for. Well, we'd had really no problem him paying me before. He may have shorted me an hour or two here and there, you know, just being greedy, and I'll let it go. But, you know, just this, after he said more disrespectful things about my father, and then him just, you know, screwing over a kid, 14-year-old, my stepson, you know, which, you know, I went ahead and gave him his money anyway, so he wasn't out nothing. I made sure of that, of course, but, and I just want to tell everybody, he ain't the good guy he portrays to be. Just because wear penny loafers and you show up at church on Sunday and you got a little nice little nest egg, got you a house in Florida, it don't mean you're a good person. And when this is all over, the good Lord will decide. He will see right through that. He will know that there is not good in your heart. He will see the evil in your heart. He will see the good or evil in mine. I'm kind of in the middle of it, if I'm a good guy or bad guy. You know, I've never been a good guy. But, you know, I'm trying hard to be a better guy. But I fall short every day. But I don't break the law. I try to work when I can. Take care of my wife. 5 kids. Do the best I can. And for this man to think that it was okay to do me like that, it really makes me angry. But hopefully before when I post this video, which, you know, some people might think this may not hurt his image or his credibility whatsoever, but a lot of people's gonna know it's gonna show what he is, what he's about. The way he acted when that boy fell off his roof and almost died, and the way he acted when that boy had a heart attack and passed away, told me everything I need to know about him. And how greedy he is to do us that way. When he's got so much money that, you know, it wouldn't make a bit of difference. He still is so greedy that he'd still try to get over on us like that. No, and you know, we just scrape by because of my life choices. But that's where we're at. It just tells me, you know, it's not a good guy. It's not the guy everybody thinks he is. But this might be the first ever video I post, and most likely the last.